The restaurant had a waiting list of 3 months. Private chef, minimalist interior, white marble tables, soft jazz in the background, and a strict image policy that no one admitted existed. Amara had chosen the place, not because it was famous, but because she wanted something normal. Just one dinner without security scanning every exit, without whispers, without people recognizing his face before they recognized hers. "Are you sure you want this one?" Min-jun had asked earlier that afternoon. "Yes," she'd said. "I want somewhere quiet." He studied her for a moment. "You're aware it won't be quiet. It will if you don't bring half your men." He almost smiled. "I'll be alone. You promise?" "Yes." And he meant it. When they arrived, he wore a simple charcoal suit. No tie. No visible security. She wore a fitted, deep emerald dress that complemented her deep brown skin beautifully, her long natural curls flowing freely over her shoulders. Nude glossy lips. Minimal jewelry. She looked elegant. Not flashy. Just confident. The hostess glanced at him first. Recognition flickered. Then she looked at Amara. The flicker changed. "Reservation name?" The hostess asked politely. "Min-jun Han." The hostess checked the tablet. "Yes, of course." Her smile returned. "To confirm, party of 1. Silence. Amara felt it immediately. "No," Min-jun replied calmly. "Party of 2. The hostess blinked. "Oh." Her eyes scanned Amara again. "Yes, of course." She hesitated slightly. "1 moment." They were asked to wait near the entrance. 5 minutes passed. 10. Amara kept her posture straight. She was used to this. Min-jun wasn't. He noticed the way other couples were seated ahead of them. He noticed the hostess whispering to the manager. He noticed the glance. The quiet assessment. Finally, the manager approached. Immaculate suit. Polite smile. "Mr. Han," he said warmly. "We're honored." Min-jun nodded once. "We're ready for our table." The manager's smile tightened slightly. "There has been a small issue." "What issue?" "We had a seating adjustment. I booked a private table." "Yes, but due to an unexpected arrangement, the interior dining room is fully committed." Min-jun's eyes shifted slightly. The interior room had empty tables visible from the glass entrance. "I see available seating," he said calmly. The manager glanced briefly over his shoulder. "Those are reserved." "So are we." The manager's gaze drifted again to Amara, then back to him. "We can offer patio seating." Amara followed the direction of his gesture. The patio. Outside. Separated from the main dining area. Near the street. A table with a simple cloth instead of marble. Min-jun did not respond immediately. Amara touched his wrist lightly. "It's fine," she said softly. He looked at her. Her expression was steady. But he knew her. She wasn't offended easily. She endured. Because she had learned to. "Is there a problem with the interior seating?" he asked the manager evenly. "No, sir." "Then seat us inside." The manager hesitated. "There are aesthetic considerations." Silence. The word dropped heavy. "Aesthetic," Min-jun repeated. "Yes." "For brand consistency." The implication was clear. Amara stepped forward slightly. "We'll take the patio," she said gently. The manager's shoulders relaxed. Of course. They were escorted outside. Past empty interior tables. Past couples who had arrived after them. Past staff who avoided eye contact. The patio was exposed to the street. Cold air. Less lighting. A subtle message. Amara sat first. Min-jun remained standing for a moment. The manager left. Silence settled between them. "You don't have to make this a scene," she said quietly. "I won't." She looked at him carefully. "You're angry." "I'm observant. This happens. Not to you." She gave him a faint look. "It does." He didn't like that answer. A waiter approached. Placed menus down without eye contact. Did not introduce himself. Did not pour water. Did not smile. Min-jun watched everything. Cataloged it. The waiter turned to leave. "1 moment," Min-jun said calmly. The waiter paused. "Yes." "Bring the manager." "Is something wrong?" "Yes." The waiter hesitated, then left. Amara leaned slightly closer. "Please don't," she murmured. "Don't what?" "Burn something down." The corner of his mouth almost moved. "You think I operate emotionally?" "I think you operate decisively." The manager returned. "Yes, Mr. Han." Min-jun's voice was calm. "We will not be dining here." The manager blinked. "I'm sorry. You will cancel the reservation." "Sir, we prepared a..." "You will cancel it." The tone did not rise. But it did not invite discussion. The manager swallowed. "If there was dissatisfaction, we can offer." "You can't." Silence. Minjun leaned slightly closer. Do you know who I am? The manager hesitated. Yes. Then understand this. His voice lowered just enough to sharpen. You did not seat us outside because of availability. The manager said nothing. You seated us outside because of perception. Still silence. You assessed my wife, he continued calmly, and decided she did not align with your interior. The manager's composure cracked slightly. That was not the intention. It was. Amara touched his wrist again. Let's go, she said softly. He stood straight, looked at her, then at the manager. Your establishment will be closed by midnight. The manager laughed nervously. Sir, that's not possible. Minjun simply held his gaze, and the manager stopped laughing, because something in his eyes said he wasn't exaggerating. They left. No raised voices. No dramatic exit. Just a quiet departure. In the car, silence lingered. Streetlights passed in reflection across the windows. You didn't need to do that, Amara said finally. Yes, I did. It's not the first time I've been seated outside. It will be the last. She turned to look at him. You can't shut down every place that disrespects me. No, but I can shut down this one. She sighed softly. You don't fix prejudice with power. No, I fix consequences with power. The distinction was cold. But it won't change minds, she said. I'm not trying to. He pulled out his phone. Made one call. Asset review, he said simply. Then he hung up. She knew that tone. You're serious? Yes. Minjun. They made you sit outside. It's just a table. It was a message. Silence. I don't need you to avenge me, she said quietly. I'm not avenging. Then what are you doing? Restructuring. Her brows lifted slightly. That restaurant is part of a holding group. Yes. The holding group is leveraged. Yes. They operate on borrowed prestige. Yes. And borrowed prestige collapses quickly. The calm calculation in his voice chilled her more than anger would have. You planned this, she realized. No. I adapted. Silence filled the car again. You're not doing this because I was hurt, she said slowly. No. Then why? He looked at her. Because they believed you could be humiliated without consequence. The words landed heavier than any threat. And they were wrong. Outside, the city continued moving. Inside the car, a decision had already been made. And by midnight. So it's something else. By the time they reached home, the restaurant's lights were still glowing across the river skyline. Amara stepped out of the car first. She paused on the driveway before entering the penthouse building. Minjun. He looked at her. You don't need to do this tonight. I already have. No, you have it. Yes. She held his gaze. You can't undo humiliation with force. I'm not using force. You're using fear. He didn't deny it. I'm using leverage. They entered the private elevator together. Silence enclosed them in mirrored walls and soft lighting. You don't need to fight every battle for me, she said quietly. I'm not fighting. It feels like it. It isn't. The elevator doors opened into their private floor. The city stretched beyond the glass windows, quiet and glittering. He removed his suit jacket slowly and placed it over the back of a chair. You think this is about anger, he said. Isn't it? No. Then what? He turned toward her. It's about precedent. Silence. They looked at you, he continued calmly, and decided you could be diminished without cost. Her jaw tightened slightly. That's not new. It is here. She crossed her arms lightly. You can't police every establishment in the city. No. But I can make an example of this one. The words weren't loud. They were deliberate. His phone buzzed. He glanced at the screen, then answered. Yes. Pause. Confirm the parent holding. Pause. How exposed? Longer pause. Leverage points. Another pause. Proceed. He ended the call. Amara watched him. You already own part of it. Indirectly. And now. Directly. She exhaled slowly. You're buying the restaurant. I'm buying the holding group. Her brows lifted slightly. That's excessive. No. That's calculated. He walked toward the window, overlooking the river. They operate on a debt structure tied to a hospitality consortium, he said calmly. That consortium owes us. You planned that. No. I remembered it. She studied him carefully. You're not emotional. No. You're surgical. Yes. Silence settled. You didn't just call someone to intimidate them, she realized. No. You're collapsing their capital. Yes. And the restaurant. Will close. When? Tonight. She shook her head slightly. You're going to make it look like financial failure. It is financial failure. Because you're pulling their funding. Yes. You're punishing employees. No. I'll transfer the staff. She paused. You'll transfer them? Yes. To where? To businesses that respect structure. Her breath slowed. You thought this through. I don't move without thinking. Silence stretched between them. You're not burning it down, she said quietly. No. You're dismantling it. Yes. And the manager? He'll be reassigned. To unemployment? To consequence. Her lips pressed together slightly. You don't enjoy this. No. You don't feel righteous. No. You feel certain. The calmness in him unsettled her more than rage would have. Her phone buzzed. A notification from social media. She glanced down. The restaurant's official page had just posted. Due to unforeseen structural issues, we are closing for private inspection effective immediately. Her eyes widened slightly. It's been 27 minutes, she said. Yes. You move fast. No. I move prepared. Another notification. A hospitality news alert. Luxury dining group under review amid sudden capital withdrawal. She looked up at him. You didn't even argue with them. No. You didn't threaten. No. You didn't shout. No. You removed their oxygen. Yes. Silence. You can't do this every time someone disrespects me, she said softly. He stepped closer. I won't need to. She met his gaze. Why? Because they'll learn. The weight of that settled. You don't want revenge, she said. No. You want correction. Yes. Her chest tightened slightly. You don't think I can endure it. I know you can. Then why intervene? Because endurance should not be expected. Silence. You're not trying to save me, she said. No. You're protecting our name. Yes. And me? Yes. Her voice softened slightly. You're not embarrassed by me. He stepped closer. Never. You weren't calculating optics tonight. No. You were calculating disrespect. Yes. Silence. Her phone buzzed again. This time, a message from a friend who worked in luxury PR. Did you see what happened at Verite? They're shutting down. Rumors say it's internal finance. That was fast. She showed him the message. You didn't even leave fingerprints, she said. He didn't smile. I don't operate theatrically. She walked slowly toward the window beside him. City lights reflected in the glass. You understand what people will say, she said. Yes. They'll say you destroyed a business over ego. Yes. They'll say I manipulated you. Yes. You don't care. No. Why? Because none of them were seated outside. The simplicity of that statement landed deep. Silence lingered. You didn't need to prove anything to me, she said. I wasn't proving. You were acting. Yes. You didn't ask my permission. No. You didn't consult my comfort. No. Why? Because humiliation without consequence becomes policy. Her breath hitched slightly. And you won't allow policy. No. Another notification lit up the skyline reflection on the glass. A local reporter had posted. Verite restaurant closed abruptly tonight amid ownership restructuring. Sources suggest internal acquisition. She looked at him. You already own it. Yes. And now, it will be rebranded. As something better. Silence. You're not done. No. What are you planning? He looked at her. Tomorrow morning, a press release. About what? New management. She blinked. You're replacing the manager. Yes. With? He didn't answer immediately. She felt her pulse shift. Min-June. Yes. What are you doing? You understand luxury operations. Yes. You understand client experience. Yes. You understand perception. Yes. He held her gaze steadily. You'll run it. Silence crashed between them. No, she said immediately. Yes. No. Yes. I don't want it. You deserve it. That's not the point. It is. I don't need symbolic elevation. It isn't symbolic. Silence thickened. You can't buy me respect, she said. I'm not. You can't turn insult into opportunity. I'm not. Then what is this? Ownership. The word hung heavy. You were seated outside, he said quietly. You will never sit outside again. Her breath steadied slowly. You're turning humiliation into infrastructure. Yes. And you think that fixes it? No. But it builds something better. Silence. Her phone buzzed again. A staff member from the restaurant had messaged her. They just told us new ownership is taking over. Are you involved? She looked at him. You didn't just close it. No. You rebuilt it. Yes. And you did it in under an hour. Yes. She stared at the skyline. You're terrifying. No. I'm consistent. The city below glittered like nothing had changed. But somewhere across the river, a restaurant's lights were being turned off, and something else was about to open. By morning, Verite no longer existed. The sign had been removed before sunrise. Press statements were already circulating through industry media. Luxury hospitality group acquired overnight. New leadership to be announced. No mention of scandal. No public humiliation. Just restructuring. That was his way. Quiet erasure. Strategic correction. Amara stood in their penthouse kitchen holding her phone, reading the news headlines. You really did it, she said softly. Minjun adjusted his cufflinks without looking up. Yes. You didn't sleep. I rarely do. She turned toward him. You understand people are speculating. Yes. They think it's Mafia influence. He finally looked at her. It is influence. You're not denying it. I'm not hiding it. Silence lingered between them. You're serious about me running it, she said. Yes. You don't think that's excessive? No. You don't think it looks retaliatory? No. You don't think it looks like you're rewarding me? No. Then what does it look like? Correction. She walked toward him slowly. You don't fix discrimination by giving the target the crown. I'm not giving you anything. You're handing me ownership. No. I'm handing you authority. The distinction mattered. You said humiliation without consequence becomes policy, she said. Yes. And this is your consequence. Yes. But what about the manager? She asked. He's been removed. Fired. No. Transferred. To where? To a property that reflects his mindset. She understood what that meant. No glamour. No prestige. No influence. You didn't ruin him. No. You repositioned him. Yes. And you repositioned me. Yes. Silence. You didn't ask if I wanted this. You don't like being asked. That made her pause. You prefer being recognized. Her chest tightened slightly. You think this is recognition? Yes. You think I want to manage a place that insulted me? I think you want to transform it. She exhaled slowly. You don't get to decide my ambition. I don't. Then why assume it? Because I've watched you. She studied him carefully. You saw me reorganize your estate. Yes. You saw me anticipate vendor issues. Yes. You saw me correct your board briefings. Yes. And you think I want public leadership. I think you're capable of it. That's not the same. No. Silence. You're not offering this as apology, she said. No. You're not offering it as proof. No. You're offering it because you believe I belong in rooms like that. Yes. Her gaze softened slightly. You never flinched, she said quietly. At what? At me? No. You never hesitated bringing me into your world. No. You never tried to soften my presence. No. And you didn't hide me. Never. She looked away toward the skyline. You didn't need to shut it down. Yes, I did. Why? Because you deserve environments that don't question your presence. The simplicity of that steadied her. And you don't feel guilty. No. You don't feel extreme. No. You feel aligned. Silence. Her phone buzzed again. A formal email. Subject, appointment confirmation. She opened it slowly. Effective immediately, Amara Johnson is appointed Executive Director of Verite Hospitality Group under new ownership. She stared at the screen. You didn't even wait for my answer. I knew you wouldn't walk away. She looked up sharply. That's arrogant. No, it's observant. You assume too much. I assume you don't let insults define your ceiling. The words hit deeper than he intended. You don't want revenge, he continued. You want structure. And this gives you structure. She walked toward the window again. The river shimmered below. You don't rescue, she said softly. No, you reinforce. Yes. You didn't close it for ego. No. You closed it because they thought I could be diminished safely. Yes. And you removed the safety. Yes. Silence lingered. You understand this makes me visible, she said. Yes. Press will question why I was seated outside. Yes. They'll connect it. Yes. You're prepared for that. Yes. You're not afraid. No. Why? Because I didn't act recklessly. You acted ruthlessly. No. Strategically. She almost smiled at that. Do you ever hesitate? She asked. Yes. When it involves you. The admission surprised her. Why? Because I don't move impulsively where you're concerned. You moved last night. No. I corrected last night. Silence. You don't regret marrying me, she said quietly. Never. You don't regret making enemies. They were fragile allies. You don't regret choosing me publicly. No. And you don't regret dismantling a business in under an hour. No. She exhaled slowly. You're dangerous. No. I'm protective. The difference lingered. And you didn't burn it down, she said. No. You rebuilt it. Yes. And now you're giving me the chance to run it. Yes. Silence stretched. You're not trying to prove you're powerful. No. You're proving I'm untouchable. He stepped closer. You already were. The words landed heavier than anything else he'd said. You didn't need me to fight, she said softly. I chose to. You didn't need to escalate. I chose to. You didn't need to turn insult into ownership. I chose to. Silence. You don't like humiliation, she said. No. You don't tolerate it. No. You don't negotiate with it. No. And you won't allow it near me. Never. Her pulse steadied. You're not making a statement to the city, she said. I'm setting precedent. And if another place does the same, they won't. You're certain? Yes. And if they do, they'll learn. Silence. She turned fully toward him now. You're not ashamed of me. Never. You're not embarrassed. Never. You're not worried what people will say. No. Why? Because I know who I married. The city outside continued as if nothing had shifted. But across the river, construction crews were already clearing the patio. Interior lighting was being redesigned. Brand consultants were receiving new directives. And by evening, a new sign would go up. Not verite. Something stronger. Something deliberate. That night, they stood together on the balcony overlooking the skyline. You didn't burn it down, she said quietly. No. You transformed it. Yes. You didn't avenge. No. You restructured. Yes. You didn't act from rage. No. You acted from conviction. Yes. Silence wrapped around them. You didn't make me sit inside, she said softly. You removed the outside. He stepped closer. You will never be placed outside again. The certainty in his voice wasn't violent. It was final. She leaned slightly into him. You're not just my husband, she said quietly. No. You're my consequence. He didn't smile. I'm your partner. The river shimmered below. The skyline glowed steady. And somewhere across the city, a restaurant reopened under new ownership, under new leadership, with no patio separation, no aesthetic policy, no silent humiliation. Because this time, there had been consequence. And this time, she would never sit outside again.